Coach Rosner, to me, when I first moved here, he was very inviting, and I love him to death. To me, like, I don't know if you've seen Kung Fu Panda. He reminds me of Po the Panda. He's just funny, and just moments like when he just wants to yell, you can see it in his face, and he just tries to hide it, but sometimes it'll sneak out. And I think that's just the best part about him, because every now and then you need to like just let something out, but at the same time you can be funny and just caring for others.
Coach Rosner, he's a fun and strict coach. He makes sure that we all got our jobs right, and we're not dilly-dallying around and messing up. And I mean, he's helping us be the dominant line that we are.
Coach Rosner's been a great coach for me for the past 4 years I've been here. When I got here the first year, in my 9th grade year, when I first started doing wrestling for him, I've never seen such an energetic guy like Coach Rosner. Such as here during practice, when we make good plays, he is so excited, jumping up and down, hollering as loud as he can. And to be honest, he's one of those coaches that you don't want to let down, because he puts so much into making sure we're the best O-line we can be in the state, or make sure that we all meet the same goals he wants us to meet.
Jeff Rosner, my first hire I ever made as a head coach. Probably one of the most loyal men I know, which to me is everything. If you're not loyal, you're nothing. Fabulous coach, offensively, defensively, a great teacher in the classroom. He's what you see is what you get, and he's always going to be genuine with the kids. One of my best friends.
I got one question.
Slant that direction, all right, and then you're going to just wrap and turn up and see the first linebacker that you see, which will be the guy who does.
So basically, just hit the first person you see.
Always, man.
All right, I got that. That's all you had to tell me.
He has the least panties on his
I know, it's a garter belt, but well, appreciation, I think, for the offensive line is, especially from a running back standpoint, is I mean, they're so important and integral in a football game. That's where all football games, in my opinion, are won and lost. I don't care who carries the football, how many times they touch it. If those guys up front aren't getting it done, it's just not going to happen. They have to be able to communicate really well with one another. They have to be able to move their feet and drive people off the line of scrimmage. I mean, it's pretty easy. I always tell them that it's that's like a war down there, and for them to win the football game, it's got to be won in that area. You have to move holes and make holes big enough for our guys to get through. We don't need much, because we got some pretty fast cats. But we got to get a hole big enough for them to get through, and they'll get it done for us after that.
Taylor's got the biggest heart I've ever seen on anybody. He goes 100% every play, actually probably 150% every play. And I mean, just the way he moves faster than anybody else. Even though he doesn't have as much weight, he's blocking better than half of us. I can't even deny that. He's doing a great job there, and especially on pulling plays. When he pulls, he's back there faster than some of the tight ends could get back there. So it helps us a lot, because all you really need to do is just get in front of somebody. And
getting in front of people. He's pushing them out the way. He's doing a great job.
VC is unbelievable, man. We thought that, we got him as a ninth grader, and we thought he was going to be good. And he has been an animal on the offensive line, from all of his pancakes that he's had. And he's such a nice kid. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Comes from a great family. His mom would tear his tail up if she knew that he wasn't, acting appropriately. He's just a great man. That's what they're getting to be. So he's a great man.
Red, he's an extremely strong kid in the middle. He's got that meanness to him sometimes that you really want out of every kid. What he does best is just knocks the dog snot out of you. He'll fire off and just hit you in the mouth, and he'll throw you around and play with you. He does a great job using his hands, keeping his body, reading blocks, and reacting to that.
Will Brown is amazing. He's got, he looks like a bowling ball, in my opinion. He's strong as an ox. He does a great job when we get him over on the offensive line. He's fast. God, he's fast. Holy cow, that cat can fly. So ever since then, I've been giving him a hard time about that. I was like, I know how fast you can move now, so if you had to run this lap, you better get your butt around this circle.
Elliot he's just a warming person. I call him Big Hero 6 from the Disney movie. Like, everybody in school knows who he is. And he'll give anybody a high five, and he'll come holler at you in the morning or wherever. And for sure, if you're like at the mall, you can see him. So you can see him somewhere.
Zach, he can run and jump like a deer. That kid is probably the fastest kid I've ever seen off the ball with his hand in the ground. As a speed rush off the edge, I don't know if there's a better player in the state. The kid's got another motor in him that most you don't see on the high school level. And he does a great job off the ball. And if you're dropping back to pass, you better get out of the pocket because he's coming for you pretty fast. Davis, he's extremely smart. He came in not knowing a single thing, aspect of our defense, and within a week he had picked it most everything up. He's physical. He likes to hit. He likes to bring some wood with him. He's not that kid that's just gonna think too much. Even though he's extremely smart, he doesn't overthink anything. He's got that initial read, react, and let's go do it with him. He does a great job with that.
Cam Tolbert, he's one of those ones that make me laugh too. Same thing really happened with him. He started last year for us, and ends up blowing his knee out and getting hurt with his knee. He ends up getting surgery on his knee, and he's out for most of the year. Comes out all the practices. Wanted to be a part of the team, staying with us the whole entire time. And then he got finally well, and he's starting to work his way back into our rotation on the offensive line, and it's just added that much more depth. He's a big part of what we do. I've been trying to move him around more on our offensive line so that he can learn more, so that when somebody does go down or something along those lines, we can just plop him in there. He's like my sixth man right now is what I would call him.
Shamar, he's that kid that will give you every ounce of everything he's got in him. He's undersized for what he plays, which is nose and tackle a lot. Last year we had a depth issue, and we were like, Shamar, linebacker's not an issue, so would you like to move down and put your hand in the ground and play with the big boys? He goes, Coach, I'll do anything you need me to. So we put him down there, and he ended up earning a starting position last year, and he started for us this year. And he does a great job. He's quick off the ball. He's strong. He's a wrestler, which I think for football-wise has helped him tremendously, just learn how to control his body with somebody bigger, sometimes stronger. There's not many kids that he faces that are stronger than him. He's strong as an ox, but he's a great presence to have there in the middle, especially when we move him around and stun him some because he's so quick.
They're friends. And I think that's a huge bit of what they do. They care about one another. They want to fight for one another. They want to win for one another. And because of that, I think that drives them to be better, to not play around as much, to make sure that they get the job done, to talk to one another and be able to be critical. You know, I mean, that's a huge deal. You know, I think that a lot of our guys can be critical of one another, whereas if a back was critical of a lineman, they may take offense to that. But if another guy that's been playing on the offensive line, maybe he's a 6th or 7th guy, and he's standing over there watching, and somebody doesn't take the right step, I don't think that we take it as a negative thing. You know, it's like, oh, well, he's trying to help me, I'm going to get better. And so I think that's also important.